Okay, so yesterday I went through and took the distributor cap off and checked the points, and the points were gapped at 33 hundredths, which is about 13 hundredths more than it should be. So started working on that and readjusted them and set the gap to 20 hundredths like it's supposed to be, and then reassembled everything, got it back up and running. And so to bring you up to date, yesterday I sprayed some starting fluid in there, some of that stuff, and then was able to get the engine to fire. So that gets me to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to mess with this too much more until I get the oil changed. So today, that's kind of my plan, is to get this thing up in the air, get the oil changed, and that way I'm ready to spin the thing over, get it lubricated, and make sure that it's ready to roll. So I'm going to get it up in the air and I'll talk to you later. Okay, so I finally got the thing in the air. So now is the first look underneath this truck. Looking at it, it appears to be pretty solid. You know, I don't see a whole lot of rust. Maybe a little bit here on the doors. Yep, there's a little bit right here on the bottom edge of the door. But the fenders are all pretty strong. They're not all rusted out. The inner fender wells look pretty darn good. I'm surprised, you know, for a 64-year-old truck, it sure is a bit better condition than anything from where I'm originally from. You know, well, I'm from the Rust Belt, so usually, you know, that place is terrible. But looking underneath here, it all looks to be fairly good condition. You know, I mean, that's still metal. That's amazing. A little oily. There looks to be like there's maybe an oil leak or two that I got to worry about. But as far as condition wise, it looks like this truck isn't all that bad. Alright, so if I am going to change the oil, what do I need to do? I need to grab something to pop the drain plug, get the oil down. Oh, there's a starter. This might not be too hard to get from the bottom. I might just do that when I go to change the starter. Actually, I'm not thinking this is the worst in the world. Alright, well, let me go get the drain pan and let's get this started. Okay, sorry for the heater, it's blowing, but it's warming things up in here. But since this oil hasn't been changed in 35 years, or so I've been told, I think I am going to drain it into a separate pan rather than mixing it with all my other used oil, so I can take a good look at what's changed or what's happening with it, or what happened with it. So, get that underneath there. Let's see if I can break this loose. Yep, it's coming free. Alright, still not loose enough. There she's coming. Here comes the goo. Looks like oil. At least it doesn't look like it's full of water. So we'll let that sit and we'll let that roll until it's empty. Well, this is continuing to drip. Let's just let her run because that is some filth in there. Let's take a look back here. So this thing is supposed to have a 391 gear ratio, and let's see, if I turn this wheel the same direction, look at that, both wheels are going in the same direction, so that is a posi. So let's see what the gear ratio is. I'm going to turn the wheel one revolution, and the drive shaft should go around almost 4 times. So let's see, there's half, 1, half, 2, half, 3, half, really close to 4. Wow. Okay, so it is 391 gears and an 8 3/4 inch rear end. So that looks like a pretty good place to start to have a pretty damn good machine to run around in. So we're looking good there. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this 64 is I'm looking at the parking brake. It's not on the brakes, it's up here on the drive shaft. So that's kind of an interesting thing to look at. It's a 3-speed manual. It's got leaf springs front and back. So it's just really kind of interesting. Alright, that is getting close to being done. It's dripping slowly. Really slowly, but I think I might just let that run for a bit longer to get as much of the filth out of here as possible, because that oil has been in here probably more than half of my lifetime. So we'll just let that keep going. Okay, well, I've been doing a little more snooping around while I'm up in the air, so I thought I'd take a look, see, and I found this little dangler here. I'm gonna have to figure out where that goes to. It appears that it goes up into the cab, and then if I go into the cab, it's going up there. So once I get this thing a little bit closer, if I wiggle it here, it wiggles down here. So that's the wire. Now I just got to figure out what that is. Is that to the light, which is up there, or is that to the fuel tank sender, you know, the gas gauge? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. We'll see. But that might be the culprit if that gauge isn't working. That was interesting. Oh, the other thing, this little whiskey dent here. I was thinking, oh, how the hell am I ever going to pop that out? Well, if I look underneath here, now that I'm opened up, I can get to it right from back in here. So there is an opportunity here that this won't be as hard as I thought it was going to be. This is going to be terrible though, this hard crease. That's going to be a bit of a mess. That's going to take some work. The other thing is I got some rust on this door and I think on the other one. So it might behoove me, if I get the gumption to really fix this up, to replace both doors, the passenger side fender, because it's got a little kink in it here too. You know, it got bumped up here in the middle. Took that all the way in. I can maybe pound that out also. And the hood, because it has a few dents that I've already shown you. But, you know, you never know. I might just work on pounding those out. Alright, well, let's see. How does that look? Looks like it's pretty close to being done dripping. So, let's put that cap or that plug back in. And then we'll go after the filter. Alright, well, we'll go put you back down over here so I can have two hands. And grab my wrench. I know you can't see. All right, snug enough. Now let's take the cleaning rag, wipe the oil off the bottom. And let's take a look-see at what it's going to take to get this old oil filter out of here. Now let's see, I can probably move this back here and then lift it up. Well, we can get it to there, but I don't think that's underneath the filter. So that ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to move this probably about right there, and then figure out how I'm gonna get my hand on that to pull it off. It's dripping. I need to come down just a bit more so I can center that thing. All right, run her off. There she goes. And we'll just take her out. We'll dump it out a little bit more, and we'll set this aside. Let that drip for a little bit, and then we'll go find the new oil filter and some oil. Which I believe I stashed over here on the other side of the shop. I think I'm going to try using some 1040. We'll see how that goes. It says you're supposed to use 30, but this engine is so old and it's been so long. I think I'm just going to do the right thing and put in a little bit heavier weight oil. And let me grab a... Let's see, can you see where I'm at? Yeah, you can see where I'm at. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup around this filter mount here because it's pretty dirty. Then I'll set this aside, grab me a little dab of Earl. Just to seat that filter and put her back on. All right. Never need to put these on any more than hand tight, so let's just go hand tight with that. And I think I have the oil out. So now I get to do the bring down the truck and fill from the top. Careful. Here, let's put this down. Be a little more careful with that. And we'll roll this to the side a little bit. And we'll take a closer look at that later. Now it's time to lower the truck. So, lower the safety. Usually keep these down here for the other vehicles I work on. And zip this down with these too, because the other vehicles usually aren't this high in the air. Grab the other one. Oop, there goes my light. There you go. Hopefully that helps a little bit. If I'm not careful, that'll pop me in the head. Jack stands underneath here so that I can try to keep that ass end off the ground, because I have 0 brakes on this truck. So my goal is to put this thing back on those jack stands. Everything out from underneath, looks like it. There she goes. Next thing I need to do is pour the oil in. I should probably double check. I think it's supposed to have 5 quarts. Let me verify with the manual. The old spectacles on, and we go look at 6-cylinder engine. Top filter 5 quarts. So the 5 quarts should fill me up. But I think I'm going to need another quart for the filter. So we'll put the 5 I got in here, and then we'll see what it needs. And if I need more, I'll buy more. Woo. Hold on. Did I move the camera? Probably did. Yeah, you guys can't see. See if I can put you over here someplace. So I need to put in 5 quarts of Earl, plus whatever the filter takes. Oh, this is a lot cleaner than what was in there, that's for sure. Alright, we'll just let that sit and roll for a little bit. And the oil will be changed once that happens. I think my next step after this, the spark plug showed up today, and so did the new plug wires, so I'll probably put those in after I pull the spark plugs out, and maybe tomorrow I'll do a compression check before I put the spark plugs in. Plus I'll probably run the engine over a bit without spark plugs in it, just so I don't have to, or hopefully the oil gets through the engine, the new oil. That way, you know, I'm not running it too dry. What did we say we were going to do? We were going to go look at that oil, how filthy it was. So let's come take a look over here. That's what it looks like. Black as night. I think that stuff was pretty well shot. Probably has no viscosity. So I think we'll live with just dumping it back down. There might be a little something in there, but I don't know what. Probably condensation over the years, but I think it'll be fine to drop into my oil reservoir. So I'm just gonna fill it up in there, and I'll see you guys later.